Boop 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 boop. Scooby Doo bop. I'm taking off my jacket. Listen, folks, it is Saturday. It is 8 o'clock in the morning, as I do it every day. Oh, the only time I think I'm late is on Sundays, because I like to be a little later because you guys sleep, because it's important to sleep. For those of you who went out last night and who are not here right now, I congratulate you on having a good time. Good morning, my friends. It is an awesome day. Today is an awesome day to be alive. Now, I start off today's little thing, and the little message that I start off with today is this. Good morning. Thank you, all of you, for joining and showing up. Michelle, I never got a response, never got a phone call, but that's okay. It's okay. Joe, thank you for watching. Jesse, thank you for watching. Michelle, thank you for watching. Let's get into the show. Let's talk about what we're talking about today. And it goes with the quote from Yoda. And this is the quote. It says, "Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering." Let's catch that. Okay, so today I want to talk about what's going on in the world. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. Our three-pronged approach. First, we talk about the problems in the world, what they're doing and creating inside of our minds, and how we take that crap away from us. Okay, so here we go. Moving on. First, I want to say, stop. Please, stop. Stop hating, stop being angry, stop being fearful, stop worrying about not knowing. Like, everybody's freaking out, right? And people are freaking out based on the fact that they are unaware, and they don't have full knowledge of what's happening, and they get scared. And that fear is what really starts to create some major issues. Rudy, I like to talk about people when they come into my little thing. I want to talk about the guy who's just now come in. His name's Rudy Campos. Now, this guy is an amazing artist. If you haven't checked out his page, go and check out his page. I'll try and put a link at the bottom below. Or Rudy, if you wouldn't mind, place a little link to your work if you have a Facebook page or a fan page. The guy's amazing. He does all of these body painting, but he does so much more. His art is amazing. Please go check him out. But let's get back into this thing that we're talking about, okay? So it goes like this. Wow, so much stuff, man. So much stuff. There's one thing I have to ask of everybody who is watching, and I have been asking this for the last couple days, and I want to really say thank you again for those of you who are watching and those of you who are sharing the videos. I'm getting like 300 views a day on these videos, and that's super cool. So let's put it together. We have this overwhelming feeling that. Oh, no problem. I will post that on my Facebook page in a little bit, Rudy, just so people can actually go to your actual page, see it. But here we go. So the whole thing here goes on this concept, okay? And the whole concept goes like this. There's this feeling that anybody who voted for Trump is a racist and a misogynistic, crazy thing. Hi, Mom. Thank you. Hi, Kat. Hi, Martin. Thank you, everybody, for joining. So the overwhelming feeling and thought is that anybody who voted for Trump must be just like Trump. And I want to come and tell you that's not the truth. What it comes down to is that the woman who ran for president, Hillary Clinton, did not make her voice heard. And you have a bunch of people who are in the United States, most of those people who are plain workers, and what I mean by that are they are blue-collared workers, and we have more blue-collared workers than we do have white-collared workers in this country, but most of them don't have jobs at this point, so they feel disenfranchised. They feel as though they're not being heard. They feel as though they're not being... And then when you have this guy who comes in, who's completely outside of the system, who's a business guy, who in the mind's eye and the social consciousness is defined as being good and great and rich and powerful, then those who are not rich and powerful, and we're going to look up to them. Why? Because that's the society that we live in. The society that we're based in puts those people at the top. They don't put the teachers at the top. They don't put the scientists at the top. They don't put the doctors at the top. They don't put the people who actually matter at the top. No. Instead, what they do is they sell you a conceptual idea of what greatness is. This is why when Napoleon Hill wrote his book, Think and Grow Rich, 20 years after the fact that he wrote the book, he then came out with a new version of the same book with extra little stories and stuff like that in it. And at one point, he's giving a really big speech for hundreds of people that are watching his seminar. And he says, listen, 20 years ago when the book came out, and I became a national bestseller, and I became a multimillionaire overnight, don't think I didn't do it. I spent tons of money. I went crazy. I had houses. I had cars. I had all this stuff. But then I started to read the own information that I had spent 15 years writing, and I realized that I'm not living a wealthy life or a rich life. The name of the book, once again, is Think and Grow Rich. But what he was trying to express when he was talking about rich was not necessarily being wealthy, but having a mental wealth in your mind. Feeling good about yourself, feeling good about your actions, feeling good about the things that you're creating around you. And this concept, this whole idea, he's like, look, after 20 years, I've sold all my cars. I've sold all of my houses. I own one small little house with my wife, and we have a car that we've had for over 10 years. And now this is a guy who, if you read his book, and if you know who Napoleon Hill is and who the Napoleon Hill Foundation is, you will find out that more people have become millionaires off of reading that book than any other book that's ever been written in the history of humanity. So that makes you think right there and then. It's not about the money. It's about the lifestyle that you're choosing to live. And that lifestyle is based on what you feel on the outside is wealth, is rich. You see, so it's not so much about having money. It's about having a lifestyle that you feel comfortable with. And also one that is measured in an even plane. You're not too rich, you're not too poor. Why? Because what happens in the end is just like Siddhartha. If you studied anything about the first Buddha, right? So the first Buddha was a prince. At the age of 16 or 17, he has a child. At the age of 17 or 16, 17, 18, around that time when he first has a child, he also goes out into the streets for the first time and sees all of these people who are poor, and he asks, how can this happen? How could I be so wealthy and live so beautifully when all these people are poor? And the gentleman looks at him and goes, one of his people that took care of him said, oh, this is just your people. These are, this is how they live. And he goes, I can't live like this. So he leaves and he spends 7 years in the forest eating one little piece of rice and a drop of water for 7 years. At the end of the 7 years, he never finds enlightenment. He says to himself, what the fuck just happened to me? I spent 7 years of my life trying to get to this place, this plateau of greatness, of understanding myself and understanding the world around me, and I'm no better off than I was when I was a rich, malevolent character. So he spends the next portion of his life realizing that it's not about being rich, it's not about being poor, but finding a place within that space that finds a level of happiness for you. And each person's level of happiness is different. We've talked about this before. Everybody has a different size cup, right? My cup might be a really big cup, and I need a lot of water to fill it up. And then there's other people who don't need anything. They literally, a droplet's good enough for them, and they're like, I don't need any more. I'm super happy with what I have. I don't need. And that concept, the whole thing that I'm trying to put together today, gives this whole idea of where we are living and what we're living in, and how it is that we're getting so confused. We get overwhelmed by what the people above us are trying to ask us to go up to. Does that make sense? So in other words, the only reason that I wear Gucci, Prada, Yves Saint Laurent, any of the famous name brands, right, is because all the rich people are doing it, right? And they spend massive amounts of money doing it. So then I think to myself, well, if I want to be somewhat like the rich, then I have to spend money like the rich, and therefore I'll feel better about myself because I'm not wearing flats in a high heel season. That kind of conceptual idea. And that's what keeps us floating in this non-understanding of where we are and who we are. The thing about us is that there's this beautiful thing that we have, our body, our mind, our soul. And those who are above us, I truly believe, do not want you or me to recognize the greatness of who we can be and what we are. And so by confusing us and by keeping us in a state of perpetual fear, they leave us from letting us ourselves be by ourselves, learn to love ourselves so that we can learn to love others. Because if you don't know yourself, how are you going to learn to love somebody else? Wow. Okay, so let's put it all together in a little ball today, okay? So first, the media is giving all these aspects of fear, all these aspects of being afraid of the future, and oh my God, Trump. If you're the left, then you've already won the political correctness war, if you will, and anybody on the right who voted for Trump is now a racist and a misogynistic crazy bastard who doesn't exist and should be killed, and the people are now pulling people out of cars and beating them up just because they voted for Trump? What the point is that creates fear, creates more antagonization, creates more stupidity, creates more people saying, oh, I feel so hurt by the things that you said to me. Grow up. Grow up. And what I mean by that is that words cannot hurt you. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Do we forget these things as we grow up? Because it seems as though we teach them to our children, but as we get older, we go, that's just BS. That's not true. We don't need that. Like, think of this statement, misery loves company. And you would say to yourself, how does misery love company? Well, it's because they're same vibrational status. If this person's vibrating up here, and this guy's down here, they're never going to be able to connect. But if I'm really low and depressed, I hate life, man, and this person's like, yeah, man, I don't like life either, you're going to come together. Because you're at the same vibrational energy, because everything is a vibration. Like Bob Proctor is an amazing writer. He put out a video a couple days ago that talks about how is it that when you walk through the forest, at the end of that walk, you feel really good. It's because nature and the world that we live in vibrates at an energy level that is perfect for our body. And this concrete jungle that we live in is not at the same vibrational energy. So, in the end, let's put it all together. How do we fix these problems? That's the question we need to answer. Okay, so it's very simple. It's very simple. First, let's look at what fear is. The acronym of fear is false evidence appearing real. False evidence appeering real. Which means that you are lying to yourself for why you're not accomplishing something. You're saying to yourself, oh, I don't know because of it, and I don't know of this, and I don't know of that, and those are all false evidences. They are. And so if we take those false evidences and just go, and the way that we do that is that we break down the information. Don't just take things at face value. For instance, I got in a lot of trouble last night for posting a meme that says something about Kurt Cobain and how he predicted in 1993 that Trump was going to be president. And when you look it up and you go to Snopes and you go to all these other places, it's totally not true. And what happened was it was part of the Trump campaign movement. And actually, I think it was a really genius move, because how many people that are in the age of 30 to 40 who love Kurt Cobain, who loved Nirvana? And so you put that out there and nobody checks things today. And then people are like, oh my God, Kurt Cobain thought that Trump might be president. Maybe he had something right in his head after all. You see what I'm saying? So, vet the information. Don't just take anything at face value. For instance, I just heard a great piece of information that said that Trump does not want to get paid $400,000 a year to be president. He doesn't want any of that money. I don't want it. I don't need it. Which I think is a super cool move on his end. It just goes to show me that he does care about the people. He's only one of 3 presidents in the history of the United States that have ever not taken the money. One of those was JFK. So I fear for Trump in the sense that if he does not take the money, and he does keep saying, look, I'm not owned by the oligarchy, that they will kill him. I really feel that. And then we have Pence as our president, which kind of scares me a little. Anyways, so how do we do this? We do this by stopping the amount of bullshit that is entering into our mind. And I said this yesterday. Stop watching television. Stop eating food that's already prepared for you. Eat more vegetables. Eat more lean proteins, more fish, more chicken, less beef. Did you know that it takes 650 pounds of water to make a pound, 650 gallons of water to make 1 pound of meat? 1 pound of meat. I've said this once again. If you want to check this out, please go look at this awesome documentary. It's called Cowspiracy, and it shows what's really going on. Like, we talk about how we don't have water in this country and this, that, and the other, and we talk about global warming. Listen, beyond whatever I know and I don't know, and I've studied and I don't study, listen, man, global warming is happening. Whether it's man-made or not, it's happening. And whether we can make that change, I believe we can. I believe we actually can, but it's based, once again, on our each individual choices. Each one of those things that we do. So, with that being said, take time today, my friends, to go out there and love the world. Go out there and do something for somebody else. I don't care what it is, man. Carry somebody's bag. Just give somebody a hug. Look at somebody you've never met before on the street and say, hey, love you. I love you. And then after that, we can take the time for those who are agoraphobic, for those who don't have good social communication, for those who are a bit afraid to go out there. It's okay. Do something nice for yourself. Do something where you feel good. Make yourself a meal that you haven't made for yourself in a while. I don't know, something. Do something to make yourself feel good about you. And with that, my friends, with that energy and with this moment, we go out into the world today knowing that we're going out there and we're doing the best we can to be the best we can. Each moment, each second, each loving grace that we are given, give moment to be happy that you're alive. Give moment to be happy that you have other people in your life that have different points of view that help you grow. And with that, my friends, I love you very much. Have an awesome Saturday, my friends. Please, 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 please like, share, subscribe. Tell people about these videos. I really appreciate you guys for watching these. And I love doing this live every day. It's so much fun. And I love the fact when you guys come in here and you comment and you say stuff and it throws me off and I go on tangents. It's what makes a conversation great. And with that, my friends, I love you. Have a beautiful Saturday. Go say hello to your family. Go love a veteran for having the freedoms that we have. And I know that was yesterday, but it's okay. Do it today. And with that, I love you all. Have a beautiful day. And go out there and kick ass. And take initials. Because you don't have time for the names. My friend Cheryl comes in really quickly. She says, if you help someone and you care unconditionally, the gifts you receive back are endless emotionally. And this makes you grow. I agree 100%. Kelly, thank you. I love you too. Cheryl, I always like to say, give to everybody that you ever meet in your life 100%, but only give to those who keep giving to themselves. And with that, I love you. Have a great day. Have an awesome Saturday. Give love to your family and friends. Give love to those who sometimes annoy you and bother you and just break you on the inside, because the people who you find problems with are the ones that you need to talk to the most, because those are the ones where you could grow the most. And with that, I love you. Once again, have a great Saturday. But guys, I'll be here tomorrow, same as every day. Let's do this. Let's keep doing this, and let's making this into something positive and beautiful every single day. And with that, have an awesome one. Go out there and do something fun. Do it. Do it.